Hey everyone, Brent with BC Dubs, excuse me, coming at you guys for the week 2 college football kickoff. Now, I needed to get this video up quickly, didn't realize what time it was, and looked down at the clock. It's like, Lord, if I don't get this video out before the games kick off, it's going to be obsolete. So let's get it. Some games I'm looking at today is Michigan, Texas. I do believe that Texas will win that football game. I think they'll win it comfortably. I didn't see much from Michigan last week to show me that they're going to be able to handle Texas's defensive line or their explosive play calling. Sarkisian likes to play a lot of eye candy. He likes to move the linebackers around, and I think he won't have a problem doing that today. I do think Michigan's defense can slow that high-powered Texas offense down. I just don't know where Michigan's going to get the points from to keep up with Texas. So I like Texas in that game to cover. They're at -7. And we got a weather. It's going to be comfortable up there. It's going to be a high sunny of 61 degrees. So a comfortable day for football up there in Michigan. Another game I'm looking at is Arkansas, Oklahoma State. I like Arkansas in this game. Arkansas had 687 total yards of offense last week. That's right. You heard this right. The Arkansas Razorbacks had 687 yards of offense last week. Now, I know they played a little team called Dental Health Community College or something like that, but it doesn't matter. You're supposed to take care of your opponents. You're supposed to comfortably beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And Arkansas went out and they did that. 687 total yards of offense. Quarterback was very accurate at 28 for 37 on the day last week, and they also rushed for 289 yards. I can't see Oklahoma State with that defense as bad as it is, and it seems to be as bad as it was last year. I don't think Oklahoma State. Now, I think Oklahoma State's going to put up a bunch of points. I do, but I think they can't stop Arkansas. It looks like Arkansas has finally found a quarterback of the future over there. And that guy they got, let me see if I wrote down his name. Cannot remember his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, a lot of new faces in college football this year. I will get better with the names as the year goes on. Next up, Tennessee, NC State. Now, I just saw a crazy report that Dan Mullen from the Florida Gators has picked NC State to upset Tennessee in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a neutral site game. I don't know what Dan Mullen's thinking about. You know, that's probably why he's not coaching anymore for the Florida Gators, because he's not only was a bad recruiter, he's also a bad TV analyst. I think Tennessee wins this game. I think Tennessee wins this game comfortably. I think they cover. What do they have here? Yeah, I think they cover. It's 2 scores, 9.5 points. Nico Lamalaleva, I think is his name. Lamalaleva. It's, you know, Nico Lama for the purposes of this video, played his absolutely lights out last week. They look really, really explosive on offense. NC State gave up quite a bit of points last week. Quite a bit of yards last week to a team that they should have beat comfortably. And I'm sorry, but Tennessee's going to rout them out of that building. Yes, I know it's a neutral site game, but Tennessee will be well represented over there in Charlotte. Next, I have another game I'm looking at today is the Iowa State game. You know Iowa, I'm sure my college football fans know this, 40 points last week. Yeah, the Iowa Hawkeyes didn't score 40 points combined all of last year. Now, I know I'm joking there, but it wasn't much more than 40 if they did. 40 points last week Iowa had. It's going to be sunny. The high is going to be 67 over there, so weather shouldn't be an issue. You know, and Iowa State last week played a little college called the University of North Dakota, and they didn't look very good. You know, they only scored 21 points against that team, kind of throwback to an old Iowa score. And Iowa scored 40 and had almost 500 yards of offense. So it's kind of hard in this game. I do think that Iowa's going to win this game. I would not put any money on that game. The spread's too close. They got Iowa at -2. Let's see. Kentucky, South Carolina. So we have our SEC matchup. Kentucky at South Carolina. Spread is Kentucky by 8.5. So I think they will win by way more than that. South Carolina looks absolutely abysmal. Their quarterback looks atrocious. They can't block up front. They barely got out of there with a win last week at home against a trucking company, Old Dominion. And I just don't know if they got anything for Kentucky and that Mark Stoops gritty, glass-eating, in-your-face offense and defensive lines that they have over there that he tends to bring every single year. The weather's high, sunny, 70 degrees at kickoff. Kentucky shut out Southern Miss last week. Now, I know that's not saying much, but South Carolina did barely beat Old Dominion. I like Kentucky to win big in the SEC opener against South Carolina. Colorado and Nebraska. I hope, beyond hope, that Nebraska comes out tonight and just completely mollywops Colorado. I hope they shut Colorado down so I don't have to hear about how Colorado is going to make the playoffs, about how Deion Sanders is the best thing since sliced bread, you know, how he's just the best thing ever. And, you know, he's a team mom with a gold whistle, as my friend Uncle Lou says on his channel. And, you know, nepotism at its finest. You know, he's going to be – Colorado, I hope you enjoy what's going on there right now if you're a Colorado fan. Because as soon as his son and Travis Hunter graduate and get out of there, and Shedeur Sanders and those guys, he's out of there. The only reason he's there is to get those guys to the NFL. All it is a Pat Stadden thing over there at Colorado. He doesn't know anything about coaching. Man, look, Deion Sanders can't put an offensive line and a defensive line together. You cannot continue to take 40 transfers a year and think you're going to have some type of cohesiveness or gelling on an offensive line. They look abysmal. Shedeur Sanders is going to be on his back and on the ground 100 more times this year. Now, I like Shedeur Sanders. I think he's an amazing football player. I think he's going to be great at the next level. Tough, probably one of the toughest kids in football. Shoot, you'd have to be in order to take all those sacks that he's, man, I'll tell you what. I hope that Dylan Raiola and Nebraska go in there tonight, or not go in there. I think the game's in Lincoln. But I hope they just completely obliterate the Colorado Buffaloes so we can get off this Deion Sanders tax that all of us college football fans have been on for the last 2 seasons, the Deion tax, as my buddy Josh Pate likes to say over there at Josh Pate's College Football Show, which used to be Late Kick, but changed the name, in case you didn't know. I think Nebraska wins. I think they're too physical for Colorado. Yes, Colorado will put up a lot of points, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than people think it is. I think Dylan Raiola, true freshman quarterback out there in Nebraska, and pulls it out. I think he pulls it out. So I like Nebraska to win that game. What is the spread on that? I like Nebraska to win. I don't have the spread on that game because obviously I'm not going to put any money on that game. But I just hope so. You know, I watch ESPN and I see where they have their, you know, they're already talking about the college football playoff, of course, because, you know, they run the whole damn thing, I guess. I don't know why we got to start talking about this crap or have ads for it, you know, week 1 and week 2 of the season. But why are they showing Deion Sanders coming out of the tunnel when they have that commercial? Do they really think that Colorado's going to make the college football playoff playoffs? I mean, come on. Really? They're not going to sniff or get anywhere close to the college football playoff. So quit hyping this guy up. And, you know, it's sad because I don't really have anything too terribly against Deion Sanders. It's just that the media is making me despise the Colorado Buffaloes. Anyway, I got to get off of this because I'll go on this forever. Next up, I have, of course, my Auburn Tigers against the Cal Golden Bears. This time they're coming across the United States into Jordan-Hare Stadium for a 3:30 kickoff. Well, it will be a beautiful, what did I have here? It will be a beautiful 85 degrees with low humidity, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy actually it says. I like Auburn big in this game. I'm taking Auburn minus 11.5 in this game. I think they're going to win by more than that. People have cautioned me against that. But I know that they played Alabama A&M last week, but they did what they were supposed to do. They went out, they took care of business, and it looked effortless, as it should against a lesser caliber opponent like that. I know Alabama A&M was completely outmatched, but still, you still got to do your job as the Auburn Tigers, and I felt like they did that. I felt like they did that really well. I really don't know in this game where Cal's going to defend or what they're going to defend in this game. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to take away Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, if you're Cal, and leave Cam Coleman wide open. You're going to take away Cam Coleman and Rivaldo Fairweather and leave the running game with Jacquez Hunter wide open. Let's say somehow you scheme a zone against all of that. You've got Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, and Lambert Smith over there. I think there's too many weapons on this Auburn team this year. I think the offensive line is better than last year. The defensive line, I don't know about that yet. We'll see. I would like to see Auburn get a little more pressure on the quarterback than they did last week. I thought for sure we'd have more than 1 or 2 sacks against Alabama A&M. But who knows? I don't know if that's the defense that they were scheming. Maybe they weren't trying to blitz. I don't think they blitzed a lot in that game last week. Maybe they were just trying to see if they could get pressure with their standard D-line over there. But anyway, that's the games I've got my eye on today. I hope everyone enjoys their college football Saturday. I'll be back on here multiple times today. Enjoy your football. Have a great day. Welcome to week 2, baby. Let's go.